Everyone, I'm Annette McCoy and you're watching Angel Heart Radio. Normally at this time of the month, I'm joined by the beautiful Rosemary Butterworth. Today, Rosemary has a health crisis and is unable to be with us. So for those of you who are watching, please, can you reach out in whatever way you feel drawn? It might be through prayer, it might be through absent healing, it might simply be with loving thoughts. Anything will be appreciated because at the moment, Rosemary is in a lot of discomfort, pain, and I'm sure anxiety about her physical condition. So, Rosemary, my prayers are certainly with you, and I trust that this is a slight hiccup and that you are released from pain very, very quickly, and that beautiful smile is back on your face rather than a wince. Now, everyone, today's show was all about making each day count and creating magic. And that was something that was very close to Rosemary's heart 2 weeks ago when we were talking about what we were going to talk about today. It just rolled off her tongue. Making each day count and creating magic. Finding the magic. Rosemary's magic is plentiful. One of her greatest passions is feeding the very many and varied types of birds that come to be fed each morning as she sits on her veranda. And she has the different kinds of food for them because she knows that birds like us enjoy different foods rather than all the same thing. And that brings to mind Bongo Bob, who lives up in Warrandyte here in, no, he doesn't at all. He lives in Warburton in Victoria. And he too delights in his friends, the birds, and he makes sure that he's feeding them what they appreciate. They're the simple joys. I had the pleasure earlier this week of going to the beach after school with two of my granddaughters and their mum. And I just happened to have food that the seagulls absolutely adore. And what a treat to feed them and see them scurrying for the food. And it was interesting because nearby on either side of us were little girls who at different times were feeding the seagulls, and they were delighting in doing so. Of course, the seagulls like to be fed. I realized that there was one hobbling because he had lost a foot, and he was soldiering on and making the most of what was being thrown to him. So, do you make the most of what is thrown to you? I'm just about to bring up the page that will show me who might have joined me here, because that will determine how long this show goes for. So if you are watching at the moment and you would like to make comments, I will delight in sharing them so that we can have a discussion about, what's magic in your day? It might be a smile from someone you're passing in the street. We don't need to know people, do we, to smile at them? It might be you smiling or doing something small for a neighbour. Isn't it interesting how things that might appear small to us are major to other people? We really don't know when might be a simple smile we don't know how that might affect someone. Or a simple gesture for a neighbour. If somebody's struggling, I know one of the lovely neighbours here in my village, a lovely, lovely woman in her early 90s, and she's home from trip to hospital. And it was lovely being able to visit her yesterday afternoon and to breeze in with some food that I couldn't use that she welcomed to use today. Very simple things to do, and yet they make such a difference. I'm breathing and I'm simply taking the time to reflect on all the wonderful things that happen in the world. And something like a health crisis that is affecting Rosemary at the moment, we often question, well, where's the magic in that? And maybe magic might be the wrong word. Although I can assure you, Rosemary will be making the most of this opportunity. She will be very aware of the support that she has at this time. Her darling husband, John, who is constantly by her side and making sure that she is as comfortable as possible. Her family, I'm sure, will rally, her many, many friends. And of course, we don't have to be in the actual vicinity of a person to be able to reach out with our love, prayer, and support. Yesterday was Valentine's Day here in Australia, and today people are celebrating Valentine's Day in other parts of the world. Yes, it's a day that florists relish. They do extremely well with people buying flowers. However, how did you share love on Valentine's Day? No, yes, it's wonderful to be able to share our love, and we do it in so many different ways, don't we? I had a luncheon here. I have a group of friends. We come together regularly every 2 or so months. And yesterday, there were contributions, as there always is. Somebody had made gorgeous ruby red cupcakes and decorated them with pink icing and love heart decos. Somebody else came in with beautiful heart-shaped chocolates, as well as homemade sausage rolls. They were absolutely delicious, of course, with the mandatory tomato sauce to accompany them. Somebody else was very delighted because her husband had graced her with beautiful flowers. And we all brought a pre-loved gift that we shared. We have this game that we play that is lots and lots of fun, and everyone goes home with a different gift to the one that they brought. And there's lots and lots of fun along the way. Very easy magic. We all enjoyed each other's company. We had lots and lots of laughs. And we were sharing love as well as fun and laughter. Again, very, very simple. So, do you have ideas? Sometimes we just do things without realizing the impact that it might have on other people. Things that we simply take for granted. We might pick up a neighbour's paper and put it closer to the door rather than where the newspaper deliverer has thrown it. We might have flowers growing in our garden, and so we cut them and take them to a neighbour or a friend. Do you pop things in the post? one of the girls who was here yesterday said she loves melted chocolate. So when she received chocolate in the mail from me on a really hot day, of course, she very carefully slit open the top, I think, and then enjoyed sucking the chocolate up because it had melted. And she said that is one of her favourite things. I didn't realise when I put the chocolate, I know she likes chocolate, I didn't realise how melted chocolate is even more delicious for her than simply eating a little bit of chocolate. So we never know just what our actions, how they impact on other people. I trust that whatever you're doing today, you can do with a smile on your face. You know, sometimes people join organisations or take positions of responsibility because they like to serve. Do we realise when we take on a position of responsibility in an organisation that where it pleases us, you know, we're enjoying doing that, being of service? And that's important to realise that, yes, we're doing something and we're enjoying it. And if we're not enjoying it, if we feel that it's an obligation, maybe we can change our thinking about it. Why do we do different things? And if it's out of obligation, then let's rethink. If I'm using the words, oh, I should, let that word go. I could. And quite often, my intentions can take quite a while to become actions. And yet, it just seems to me that when I act on something, it's in perfect time. Sometimes we can get ourselves a little stressed. Oh, I should be doing this. Oh, I meant to do that. We can take the pressure off and know that divine time is perfect time. And just because we think it's important or necessary to do something in this moment, sometimes it is. Sometimes things take a little bit longer. I know I've had 2 situations recently where I was attempting to catch up with girlfriends and it just didn't seem to be happening. And yet, when it did happen, both times were perfect for both of us. We had, almost unlimited time together, rather than trying to push in a quick visit. Sometimes a quick visit, yes, that's better than nothing. I totally agree. But there are other times when to be able to spend extra time with someone is an absolute pleasure. And so it mightn't happen exactly when we think. But trust that it will be in perfect time. And if I have to change dates or somebody else has to change a date, I've learned that all will be well. But if somebody changes a date with me, I sort of go, oh, I wonder what's going to happen in that time. Earlier this week, it meant that I had time at home that I wasn't expecting. And so tasks that had been mounting up were done easily. So often it's what we expect. And that expectation, as Marnie and I were talking about last week, puts unnecessary pressure on ourselves. So let's let go of our expectations. Have no expectations or open expectations. You know, I wonder what's going to happen today. I know I was looking forward to a show with Rosemary. Sadly, that hasn't happened. However, I've had this opportunity to share time with you and chat with you on my own. And I know Rosemary's in the background going, you go, girl. Maybe if I'd known in advance, I might have been a little more concerned about, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? And yet, in the moment, it's, okay, yep, I can do this. An opportunity to say thank you for this opportunity. And I thank you, the Angel Heart Radio audience, for letting me share my thoughts with you today. Next week is Numerology Week, and Elaine Ann will join me, and we'll be talking numbers and the impact, the significance of our numbers. So make sure that you join us next week. And in the meantime, create the magic. Make the most of every day, regardless of what might be happening. If you feel as though you're getting lemons, as Rosemary is at the moment, then make lemonade. Make sure that you're creating as much fun, as much love, and as much joy in every day as you can for those around you and for yourself, as you deserve it. Much love, everybody. Have a super, super Thursday or Wednesday, wherever you are. Bye for now.